So, if you've been following our journey throughout the last 10 years, then you know it's always been Dyna till death. Well, one thing led to another, and if we were going to enter the final frontier of a custom performance bagger build, let's just say it was going to have to be a little bit more than an exhaust and a bar job. We've heard the saying, so many performance baggers, so little performance, and you only need one glance at the final product to know that we came correct. If we wanted to stand truly satiated on this new platform, then the final outcome would have to be louder and faster than our Dynas in every way possible. Mission accomplished. So in terms of our journey, this is a pretty big moment. So stick around if you want to hear about the story of these new builds, the parts that are in them, and our plans going forward. It all started here at the Nassau County Harley-Davidson with these two stock modern baggers. We were fortunate enough to find a solid partner in this hometown dealership that my family has been using for decades, and now it was time to get started. If these bikes were going to stand apart from the quote-unquote performance baggers that we've seen flood the scene throughout the last years, then we knew what we had to do. In no time, the tins were stripped and sent out for paint as our 135 crates arrived in the dead of winter. Momentum was already building around this project, and our team would begin clearing space for one epic build. Parts would begin to flood in throughout the winter, and a pile of custom performance parts would begin to amass as we awaited our tins to be painted. Fast forward through countless headaches and riddles, and in June, we would have everything we needed to complete the builds. Even though it was their busiest month of the year, Harley-Davidson of Nassau County knew that these bikes had to make it to homecoming. So they wasted no time and went full throttle into assembling these bikes while fielding the inevitable fitment issues that would come along the way. And well, in the record time of 5 months, our vision had been achieved.
Hey, this is Larry from Harley-Davidson of Nassau County. We're here to show you something new and exciting that we built. Please come follow me. We're here in the showroom at Harley-Davidson of Nassau County, and we want to show you the Road Glide we built and the Street Glide for two guys that we know you know, FXDLSBROOKLYN and Von Gasfalt. Like most builds, these bikes had to be built on a deadline because these guys are going out to the homecoming in Milwaukee at the Harley-Davidson Motor Company. So we got these done, and we got them done on time. These bikes are ready to ride. Harley-Davidson of Nassau County.
First and foremost, a massive shout out to our partner dealership in the build. We could not have done this in the tight time frame without this team. We'll be doing plenty more with them in years to come, and for now, we're proud to carry the torch of our hometown dealership as we rip on these new builds. As with all of our previous builds, the two bikes naturally contrast off of one another. It's funny because this actually wasn't planned, but the authentic result of who myself and Von Gasfalt stand to be as brothers on the road. The purpose had been achieved, which would be bikes that would effortlessly lay down fast and heavy mile days on the bike trips, while maintaining the performance to outride our tight and unforgiving riding conditions of New York City. My Road Glide, aka Still Burning, aka True Gold, is a celebration of finding my way back to straight edge, as well as surviving a nearly fatal bike wreck years back, all while paying tribute to New York City hardcore and punk. It stands apart from my current stable, but is clearly part of the family. Flames on everything. Von Gasfalt's Street Glide turns the table on any aesthetic we've seen prior, highlighting an artistic style that embraces imperfections and failures, an essential attitude to surviving the long road. There is clearly a lot going on with these builds in terms of specs and parts, so let's talk about the current part breakdown. First and foremost, we chose these 135 crates not just for the over-the-top power, but for the fact that they're partially liquid-cooled, a welcome aspect of the modern M8s. My paint, once again, is from Roy up in Canada, who also painted my ST. Vong Asphalts is from Ronnie here in New York, who also painted his Dyna. My custom Fab 28 2-to-1 exhaust was inspired from hanging out with Trev out in California last year, and Vong Asphalts is an innovation that he came up with all by himself. True comfort on the long road, as always, starts with a custom saddleman seat. When it came down to an inverted front end, I looked no further than Kraus. Speaking of which, this is who we also went with for a bar setup that would work seamlessly with both of these bikes. The FXR triangle covers were hand machined by Steve from Screaming Speed and Fab, a true OG when it comes down to the performance bagger game. The backbone of any bike is of course your swing arm, and we pulled no punches going with Speed Dealer. Aesthetically light years beyond the rest, while coming in at a weight that is lighter than a feather. If you're gonna go fast, you gotta stop fast. The usual formula of Brembo calipers with Lindell rotors, while getting extra fancy with these custom machine wheels also from Lindell. Many parts from J&P Cycles, including parts from Flow, Thrash and Supply, as well as S&S to take this build home. As always, with builds like this, the details matter, which is why we went with a full set of gold-plated ARP bolts from none other than Bamco. For those heavy distance bike trips, a handmade quality sissy bar bag is essential. We look no further than the Mad Squirrel for this true masterpiece. These bikes will definitely be ripping on unpaved roads at some point this summer, so crash protection from Harley-Davidson was a must. And speaking of the factory, finally, I have a bike with heated grips. Because we never sleep on wind protection, so we had to go with Clockworks for the windshield, with these custom designed torches by the tattoo artist Frank William out in Texas. As for the handguards, Memphis Shades. Finally, when it came down to suspension, we needed the best. Going tall and high as always with these 14-inch Fox shocks, as well as Vong Asphalt running their cartridges as front suspension. And finally, when it came down to a helmet, nothing but the best. The Simpson Mod Bandit Carbon Fiber Modular. All of these parts and companies aren't just exclusive to these builds, but companies that we've been using for years. A massive shout out to all of our sponsors for supporting us in making this build happen. As I've said before, a build like this is never truly done, and I'm sure these bikes will continue to evolve and change throughout the upcoming years. As we've proven with our previous builds, as pretty as they may look, I cannot be any more clear in stating that these are not show bikes. As always, we are not interested in trophies, only interested in heavy miles. Our plan is to waste no time in riding them coast to coast and back, laying down the heavy mile days that they were built to do, and embracing every chip, scratch, and failure along the way. If you want to see the builds in person, we do plan to make an appearance at both Homecoming as well as Sturgis, and everywhere in between. Wrapping this one up, we want to formally thank everyone who has partnered with us and supported us in this build, as well as our friends and families. We could have never achieved a result like this on our own. And on that, we built them, and now it's time to ride them. Thanks for following us along, and we hope to see you on the road soon. We're out.
Goodbye.